Welcome back, I'm Mike Still. This channel is all about language learning. I'm studying Japanese, it's day 14, and I've spent the last 14 days studying Japanese from nothing. Today I want to talk about how I study. I want you to study with me. We'll go through a lesson from an NHK World dialogue, and I'll give you a bit of an insight into what my typical kind of study session would look like. Before we come on to that, I want to take a minute to talk about italki. So italki is an online platform where you can find an online language teacher. So whether you're studying Japanese or Chinese or German or Dutch or Portuguese or Spanish or one of the many other languages, you can find a teacher for you on this platform, italki. It makes it very easy. I think they have 10,000 teachers. They have 10,000 teachers on italki. It's very easy to scroll through the ones, choose your language you want, choose whether you want like a professional qualified teacher with like a teaching degree, or you want like a community tutor to practice your language with. I have friends who use italki just to like keep up their Spanish. So like they'll just spend maybe an hour a week on the phone to this Spanish person on who they found with italki. It's all booked through the system, and it's a really great way to maintain your language and, in my case, to learn a language. So I have a Japanese teacher who I meet with once a week. She's called Marina, she's from Tokyo, and it's a fantastic way to find an online language teacher. With the link in my description, you'll get $10 off with your first purchase. So how about that? Click the link to find out more. So, it is day 14, and I want to talk to you about how I study. So I'm going with a new lesson. This NHK World resource, which is fantastic by the way, is broken down into I think 40 something lessons. I think it's about 48 lessons. I'm on lesson 20, I've done lesson 25, I haven't done lesson 26, so this is all new to me now. 26 I haven't looked at yet, but I do have the PDF in front of me, and I've found the point at which the audio starts. So I haven't studied this lesson, I haven't even played it yet, because I've just played up to the end of the last dialogue. So what I would first typically do is I would look at the dialogue, I'd have a read through it, I'd get an idea of the context. And the context here is that Anna, who's a Thai exchange student and is living in Japan, she's just sat a test with her friend Rodrigo, who's I think a Japanese guy. And the teacher set them the test, and she's saying, "Oh, Rodrigo, you're not in high spirits." So they're having a discussion about what's going on and how they did in the quiz, basically. So I know the context, I know the rough situation that they're in, and then I'll play it like this. Rodrigo, 元気がないね. Rodrigo, 元気がないね. Now, I'm reading this as well in English because I want to be able to hear correctly the way it sounds, and I don't want to start pronouncing it wrong, and having the English letters and the Japanese hiragana in front of me is really helpful. So that's the first thing I'll do. I'll go back to 2 minutes 41, and I'll just go, Rodrigo, 元気がないね. Rodrigo, 元気がないね. 元気がないね. Rodrigo, 元気がないね. And I'll repeat that, and I'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it again and again and again. And I'm not too worried about what the meaning is yet. I'm just going to listen to it and try and absorb the sounds, absorb the words, and then say them, because in saying them, it kind of crystallizes and solidifies the actual words which you're intending to learn. 試験ができなかったんです. 試験ができなかったです. Was that right? I mean, it doesn't sound totally right to me. 試験ができなかったんです. 試験ができなかったんです. And now I'm going to look at the thing. 試験ができなかったんです. That was pretty close, to be honest. I heard a g when it was actually, here it's a k. できなかったんです. So 試験ができなかったんです. Now, when you see the English letters written with the Japanese words, it's not like you can just read them. I mean, I did a Judge My Japanese video, and where I was basically going through the dialogue and kind of practicing my pronunciation, and that takes a lot of learning to even just know how to say these words correctly. Like if I take a random lesson, this is lesson 28, Kare wa kamera ni kuwashi kara iroiro kite ne. Okay, I probably did that quite well because I know Japanese, I know a couple of the words, I know the kind of vowel sounds, I know what is a Japanese sound and what isn't a Japanese sound, but just to be able to read them and say them correctly takes a lot of studying, it takes some time. So what I'm doing now is I'm just reading through, I'm trying to pronounce these words in the correct way. So let's listen again.
試験ができなかったんです。
Dekinangata desu. Now I might even just pick out a word, and I'm just playing on VLC Media Player, nothing fancy.
ができなかったんです。試験ができなかったんです。できなかったんです。できなかったんです。
That's actually kind of three words. You've got dekinakata desu, and then you've got like a particle and then you've got desu, which is like the ending of a sentence. So shiken ga dekinangata desu. And then what happens next?
私も
Watashimo, watashimo, watashimo.
60点でした。
Rokujiten deshita. Rokujiten deshita. Now roku, ichi-ni-san shi-go roku is ichi-ni-san yon, ichi-ni-san shi, don't know, help me in the comments. Ichi-ni-san shi-go roku. Roku is 6. Rokujiten deshita. Now I can see this translation because I've got the English as well. It says, I got a 60. So, rokujiten deshita. So I reckon she said the deshita must mean like, it's kind of like the verb at the end, a bit like in German, how they often have the verb at the end. Japanese language often has the verb at the end. So, rokujiten deshita, I can see means I got a 60.
次は頑張ろう。
Tsugi wa ganbaro? Tsugi wa ganbaro? Tsugi wa ganbaro? Now I'm reading this and I didn't really say that very well, but listen to it again.
次は頑張ろう。次は頑張ろう。次は頑張ろう。
Tsugi wa ganbaro? And I will say that again and again and again. She will say it, I'll say it, she will say it, I'll say it, like this.
次は頑張ろう。
Tsugi wa ganbaro?
次は頑張ろう。
Tsugi wa
次は頑張
ganbaro?
ろう。
Tsugi wa
誰
ganbaro?
が結構頑張ろう。
And we'll just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, gambaro, until I've got it. The things with Japanese is there's a lot of different vowels. It's like consonant vowel. So hanashi mase tu, like, and you've got to make sure that you're getting the u with the u and not the o. In English, like, you could say words differently and it would just sound like you're talking with a different accent maybe. But in Japanese, if you say it with a slightly different vowel, it can mean a totally different thing. So it's very important to get those vowels correct and perfect. So that is what I would typically do. And having gone from that point, like I said earlier, like, I'm not even too fussed about the meaning of the words, but if I can pick out a word then, I will say dekinakata. I will look up that word. The actual resources there will explain to me what that word means, and then I can use Google Translate to get some other ideas. I can look for it in context. I can even search for this word, and I will say it. I will say the word dekinakata, and I will be thinking about what it means, which maybe is a verb to mean like I didn't do well, I didn't succeed. I'm just guessing from the context and the whole sentence there. So maybe it means that. Hope you found this interesting. This is really how I study, it's how I work, and I'm going to do more lessons like this about just sharing my actual methods. And I've taken a quick look at the alphabet today, which I might share with you tomorrow. I've held back on the reading so far because I just wanted to learn the vocab and get some new words, but thanks for watching. Don't forget the link in italki, and I'm doing a live stream tomorrow on patreon.com/ArabicMike, so join in my description to hopefully see you there as well.